I'm fucking hungry. I'm on day 3 of my insanely long fucking fast that I'm doing. Let's see. I'm currently about 64 hours fasted. I weighed in literally a few hours ago at 191.8 pounds. Now, I started on the tail end of a carb up with my body weight having shot up to 201 pounds. I forget the decimal point there, but roughly almost 10 pounds lost. And I'm not even to 72 hours yet. I still got 2 more days of this shit after tonight. So the weight fell off very quickly from the carb up, which tells me that I had like a shit ton of water weight gain. Apparently combining alcohol with eating carbs and junk is probably the worst fucking thing you can do to your body. And I saw that with my energy levels dipping as low as they did. Basically, I got hungry around, I want to say the 48-hour mark, 47-hour mark, and it lasted for about a half hour. But it wasn't bad, I've been through bad hunger pangs. The ones where you're pacing around the kitchen or you spot somebody with some food and you want to punch them in the face and take the food. Not them kind of fucking hunger cravings. This is more like, I really want to eat, but I don't feel like eating right now because that would mean I'm a fucking pussy. I got through that half hour, no problem. Went to bed. I kept waking up. I woke up like 3 times last night to piss. I was pissing like a fucking racehorse all night, which goes to show how I lost that extra weight, So, I got up earlier. I wanted to sleep in, but I woke up after about 6.5 hours total. If you don't count the 3 times I had to get up and fucking, drain the lizard. I didn't have to sleep as much, and I felt just fine. I'm not tired. I feel more energetic today than I did yesterday. Throughout the morning, I wasn't hungry at all. I got a little bit of a hunger pang, smaller than the one I had yesterday, about a half hour ago, and it's already gone. So overall, this, I would hit 72 no problem. Now, as you've known from my other video where I tried to do 72-hour fasts the old way when I wasn't keto adapted, when I was eating junk when I ate instead of eating a ketogenic diet, then you know that my hunger and cravings, I failed. I failed right around the 65, 68 hour mark. Not too much longer after right now is where I would have probably been thinking about hanging it up before, whereas now I'm trucking right along. Did get a little lightheaded a couple times, mainly when I got up, which I know is a possibility when you're doing a longer fast. You got to take it easy a little bit. You can't go nuts. You're already stressing the fuck out of your body by fasting. Your body's going, what the fuck? This guy's not eating. Go find food, you dick. Here's some energy. Go kill something. But at the same time, your explosive energy is going to not be available as easily unless you are really, really well keto adapted. As in, you're used to running marathons in ketosis. I'd imagine it's a lot easier. I'm not that level of an adaptation, and I don't think I will get to that level, mainly because I carb up every couple weeks, with junk and shit. All the shit that's bad for you, I fucking eat it. I know, I still do. I'm thinking of not. I'm thinking of trying to carb up the healthy way, eating fruits and that kind of shit and seeing how I do with that. And I've got other experiments coming down the pike. This isn't my last end-all be-all challenge of weight loss and health. I've got some other experiments I'm going to do, and it may even involve regaining some weight or becoming non-keto adapted. I don't know yet. There's other questions I have unanswered. One of them is the building muscle question. So overall, this fast has been easy so far, and as far as weird shit, how them fucking guys that get on, YouTube, I did a 5-day fast and it miraculously healed the fucking wart on my left ball. That shit, I don't have any of that. I did have a little bit of tingling in my ankle. I broke my ankle a while back, so there's some hardware in there holding the shit together. I felt a little bit of tingling in there. So yeah, autophagy or autophagy or however the fuck you pronounce it is probably going on. That's where your body, while you're starving, so to speak, goes and breaks down damaged tissue, shitty parts of cells, all to get the amino acids that you're not getting since you're not eating protein. A lot of people fear this process because they fear that it's eating your fucking muscle. I know from experience, with my 72-hour fasts and my rigorous 36 ADF fasting, that overall I didn't lose any strength. The size fluctuates. It does. It does look smaller when you're carb depleted. Your muscles look flat. But I also know when I went out and fucking carved my shit the fuck up, my muscles would balloon up. And I'd go and work out and they'd be like, they'd pop right the fuck out and say, hi, how you doing? I bet you thought you lost me. Well, here I am, dickhead. And go ahead and fucking do your reps. So, yeah, I haven't experienced a significant muscle loss throughout my weight loss. Nothing, by muscle loss, strength. Size has fluctuated. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up. And I'm willing to bet if I upped my amount of trips to the gym to beyond once a week, that my muscles would get up a little bit bigger and stay bigger. You got to use them to build them. So that's not my goal right now. I'm just trying to maintain. So I just try and work them because I do know that if you don't use your muscles, they'll atrophy. And then your body will be like, oh, we got some damaged cells here. We got some fucking damaged cells there. We need some goddamn amino acids. Oh, wait a minute. There's a muscle we haven't used in 6 months. Let's start eating that shit. We don't need that. Your body's pretty good at this kind of, keeping itself alive. So overall, this fast is going to be a success. I feel confident. Before I could, I was really iffy. But coming this far, so far, I feel pretty confident. Now, I could change. I could get to the fucking 72-hour mark and be like, oh, fuck this shit. Fuck it. But as of right now, I feel great. I feel mentally alert. I even feel that little bit of that endorphin high you get. I forget what the process is called, but there's a high that you get, and that's why religions fast, is they get that high and they think they're talking to God or they're having a spiritual experience, and lo and behold, let's fast. Now, I'm not here to debate religion, but overall, it is a biochemical issue that's causing you to feel spiritually enlightened. It's not, we could debate that all day. I'm not getting into that. That's a very divisive, polarizing fucking topic on religion. However, needless to say, I'm experiencing some of that clarity, concentration, and to attribute it to fasting, I guess, because it didn't happen, before. Obviously, it must be a change that coincided with my fasting. Another thing I've noticed is a more of a thirst for knowledge too that I didn't have. I've always studying and trying to learn, but today I felt like I had to go do it. I have to learn more shit. I have to refine my knowledge. I have questions I need answered, and I continued to do some more research today. Instead of just jumping right into making videos today. And I still have that thirst for knowledge, and I'll probably read more articles after I'm done here to help build my brain, so to speak. So that's kind of a weird thing too. I've had a thirst for knowledge. One of the things I did come across in this thirst for knowledge was one of the guys that I've watched pretty much every goddamn fasting video guru that I could find. And some of them are full of shit. Some of them are bro science motherfuckers that are bodybuilders that probably can't really truly tell how much fat they're losing because they've never been truly fat. Like I said, you know, someone like me that was fat and could easily get fat again is a lot different than somebody who was thin, you know, and put on a little bit of fat while they were building their muscle and needed to cut the fat off to see the abs. That's a little bit of a different fucking, you know, biology. You know, you're probably built a lot differently hormonally than I am. I know that carbs and refined carbs make me gain weight very quickly. Very fucking quickly. Which leads me to believe it's a goddamn insulin problem that I have. I have insulin resistance of some kind, probably largely due to the fact that I was fat for so long and that I ate like shit my whole life. So I damaged my hormones. And I'm trying to fix them with fasting and keto. So leaving that aside, I came across this guy called Butter Bob Briggs. This guy, he knows his shit. He's done his homework. He's read his studies. You know, he talks about it plainly, and he's used it to lose a shit ton of weight and keep it off, just like me, and just like hopefully a bunch of you that are watching this. So anyways, the video, and you know, you can do a search on this. I'm too lazy to put a link in the description. It's by Butter Bob Briggs. If you type it into the search and do fasting and the 50% insulin problem. And what he goes on to say in there, and I backed it up by a couple of articles I read by Dr. Fung and a few others, that your body produces insulin all the time. And the only way to truly improve that number beyond high-fat keto diet is intermittent fasting. And intermittent fasting showed more results, like something like 60% more or 70% more. I don't know. He gets into the numbers. I'm not going to get into the numbers. Let me just put it this way. Fasting is better than keto. Fasting with keto is probably the best you can do. You can't do no better with your insulin than if you're doing fasting and keto. And if you watch the next video after this, which I'm about to film literally right after this, is the first step in my diet program that I'm going to throw up, is addressing that very thing, insulin. So I just wanted to throw this up with this update that there's a lot more to it than just diet. It's meal timing is equally, if not more important than diet. So, with that being said, keeping on trucking along with this fast, and I think I'm going to make it all 5 days. Maybe I'll go 6. Maybe I'll get all ate up and be like, fuck it, I can just keep going. I don't ever have to eat again. You know, eating fucking... Who has time for that? It costs too much fucking money nowadays. You got to pay fucking $8 for a goddamn steak. I mean, what the fuck? I'm not an expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Have a nice fucking day.